ASEAN has remained China's largest trading partner for 4 years. In the first quarter of this year, China-ASEAN trade volume reached 1.6 trillion yuan, with an increase of 6.4%. Chinese private enterprises spared no effort to explore new emerging markets, with a growth of 10.9% in import and export trade to ASEAN. At the same time, in the first 2 months of 2024, Guangdong-ASEAN trade also achieved positive growth of 17.3%, accounting for 15.5% of Guangdong's total import and export value. Without doubt, ASEAN is an important partner for China and for Guangdong Province. The Canton Fair also contributes to China-ASEAN trade relations. The first phase of the 135th Canton Fair will include delegations from ASEAN member countries like Malaysia and Thailand. How to assess China-ASEAN trade relations? What are the expectations for China-ASEAN Free Trade Area 3.0? To find answers, we had an exclusive interview with the Secretary-General of ASEAN, Kao Kim Hourn. Today, I want to ask some questions about the trade relationship between ASEAN and China. But first, I want to ask that Chinese government has promoted the term high-quality development. So in your definition, how do you understand the term high-quality development?
My understanding is very simple. It means the upgrade of the next level of quality, meaning that becomes more whatever we produce, what we do become more high quality conscious. So for example, just you see infrastructure like road. When we talk about quality road, then we talk about the road will last longer. Any products we produce that we talk about quality products, then it means that the products will last longer and become more resilient, and therefore will increase more trust by the consumers in terms of whether the products or the services that will be offered. So that's how I would understand in the layman's term.
Do you think high quality development will drive China's economic growth in the future?
Well, of course, certainly will add another dimension when you talk about high quality development, meaning that in all sectors, development in all sectors. Certainly will inject a new dynamism, a new thinking, a new approach to how we should look at development. Development that we're looking at sustainability, something that we have to also take care of the environment, not development at the expense of the environment. So this is something that we see is happening now, I think, in the case of China and some of the countries around the world. So I think this is really not only a policy shift, in my view, but fundamentally is a leadership shift of focus. I think that is quite important for the present and future sustainable development.
And then I want to ask that China has promoted the high standard of opening up, and then we have the removal of the restrictions of the foreign investment on China's manufacturing sector. So how do you think the level of openness of Chinese market to the global world right now?
Well, I think it's too early to say, but I think it's important. I think, of course, we welcome the opening up by China to the world. It means that investors should have the opportunity to invest in China. In the sectors of the economy, then they can invest. So this is a new opening, new opportunity. So I'm sure we all would welcome this. And I think a lot of investors would like to invest and do well in China successfully.
Yes. So China has been ASEAN's largest trading partners for years. And how do you view the current state of the China-ASEAN trade and economic relationship?
Well, we are pleased with the state of trade between the two sides, ASEAN and China. We would like to see, on the one hand, the number continues to increase. You know, between ASEAN and China, the combined population of 2 billion people. So the market side is significant indeed, whether on its own or whether in the global context. So what is important is that we need to make our trade become even more meaningful and of course beneficial for both sides. So I hope that we will continue to reduce the non-trade barriers, for example, on both sides, so that we allow trade to flow on both sides more freely. For example, you wouldn't believe this, but we have countries in ASEAN like Malaysia import chicken from China. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just a one-way trade in terms of the agricultural products, but also both ways, a two-way trade. So hopefully the trade margin will continue to grow. And of course, also that we will continue to be the top trading partners of each other.
Okay. So in the opening ceremony of Boao Forum, the UN Secretary-General Pan Ki-moon has mentioned the China-ASEAN Free Trade Area 3.0. So what expectation can we have for this, how it is processed, and like what highlights or difference can we find in it compared to the previous?
I think with the current negotiations to upgrade the ASEAN-China FTA to 3.0, I think this is going to be a new dynamics in terms of trade between the two sides. I think it's important that we have to continue to prioritize our trade cooperation. I think for ASEAN, certainly China has been one of the key priorities for us. That's why the current negotiations is ongoing, and we'd like to see the current negotiation to conclude as early as possible, hopefully before the end of this year.
I'm not sure that whether you're familiar with Guangdong Province in China.
I heard of it, yes.
Guangdong Province is also a pace sector for our country's reform and opening up. What role can Guangdong play in the international trade and investment?
Well, certainly it's up to Guangdong provincial government to decide what role it wants to play, right? I'm sure it has a lot of strengths. It should play in the areas of its strengths that it can play a positive role. But I certainly would like to work together with ASEAN between, say, not only ASEAN and China per se, but between China and each of the provinces of China. Because on its own, like Guangdong, for example, is already a major economic force on its own. So we hope, let's see what we can do together in terms of take advantage of the current bilateral FTA between ASEAN and China on one hand, but also in the context of the regional comprehensive economic partnership, which of course Chinese companies are also very active to take advantage of this trade. The global, as I said, the largest trading arrangement that we have, not only between ASEAN and China, but between and among the 15 countries, 10 from ASEAN plus China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand. Yeah.
So the Greater Bay Area, you must have heard, is the innovation hub of our country. And how do you think the Guangdong's innovation ability, and how do you think about the trade relation may be built in the future between ASEAN and Guangdong?
The GBA has a lot of advantages. Number one, I understand because of the geographical proximity between ASEAN and China. Second, I understand because of the policy priority that China's government has given to the GBA. Third, of course, we have been working together for many years already. So I think there are many sectors that the GBA will play, right? Ranging from manufacturing to high-tech area, also in terms of the shipping, logistic, finance, for example, right? So even port. So I would say, why not link up whatever areas we can do? Because like I say, I believe that we should push all the areas. We should do more trade. We should have more investment on both sides. We should have more cooperation in tourism sector. We should enhance connectivity. And also, I think what we need to do, of course, is that we want to make sure that we all link up to the global supply chain so that we all have the opportunity to really maximize the current opportunity, but also the opportunity in the future.
So I think the Belt and Road Initiative have helped China make a lot of green investment in the foreign markets. So how do you think the BRI bring the green transformation to ASEAN?
Yeah. Well, we hope, of course, BRI has been quite active already for the past more than 10 years. This year's 11 years. So I would hope that in the green transition, we very much welcome, because we require a lot of investment in the what we call the renewable energy sector. So China has been very active, and we hope that from now, of course, in the future, we'd like to welcome more investment from China, whether in the green economy, the digital economy, blue economy, circular economy, right? So I think it's important that we need to work together, because we stand to benefit greatly from our cooperation and collaboration, particularly in the economic sector.
So I think ASEAN and China has developed more cooperation in the green finance also. What expectation do you have for the cooperation in the green finance?
Yeah, well, the green finance certainly, of course, we welcome very much certainly in the energy production. As we move away from coal burning, we need clean and sustainable energy. But also we need to transform waste into energy solutions. So that's another sector as well. I would say right now is the opportunity for Chinese investment to continue to make ASEAN as a priority. And also because we are, ASEAN and China now are the comprehensive strategic partners. On this basis, it means that we should be able to work together on all sectors of cooperation that we have between the two sides.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All for my interview.
Thank you.